Chinese President Xi Jinping's special envoy will visit North Korea on Friday and is expected to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
Now, China plans to send a special envoy to North Korea this week to talk about the Communist Party's recent Congress. As the visit follows a series of meetings among world leaders, some experts believe the main focus will be Pyongyang's nuclear and missile program.
Welcomed by President Xi Jinping, one of the country's most dominant leaders in decades. They're set for top-level talks, with Trump widely expected to push Xi on his perennial gripes, trade and North Korea. But despite the inevitable sticking points, Beijing seems upbeat as the two go head-to-head.
President Xi, I want to thank you for that incredible welcoming ceremony earlier this morning. It was truly memorable and impressive, and something I will never forget.
Following President Donald Trump's visit to Beijing, China says it's sending a high-level special envoy to North Korea amid an extended chill in relations between the neighbors over Pyongyang's nuclear weapons and missile programs. The official Xinhua news agency said Wednesday that director of the ruling Communist Party's International Liaison Department, Song Tao, would travel to Pyongyang on Friday to report on the party's National Congress held last month.
Chinese President Xi Jinping's special envoy will visit North Korea on Friday and is expected to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. That's according to both Beijing-based Xinhua news agency and North Korea's state-run Korean Central News Agency on Wednesday. The envoy Song Tao is currently head of the Chinese Communist Party's Central Committee's Department for International Affairs. It's the first time since October last year that Beijing's high-level official will visit Pyongyang.
The head of the International Department of the Chinese Communist Party is a very senior high-level official. Also, Song Tao is pro-Pyongyang. Sending him means that China wants to recover its party-to-party interactions with North Korea, in contrast to how their interactions until now have mostly been carried out via low-level channels.
China usually sends special envoys to communist states immediately after concluding the party congress. But after this year's 19th Party Congress, Beijing sent Song Tao as an envoy only to Vietnam and Laos, excluding North Korea. Xinhua reports Song will inform Pyongyang about the 19th Party Congress that took place in mid-October. But experts believe as the envoy's visit to Pyongyang comes after U.S. President Trump's visit to China, Beijing may be looking for an in-depth discussion with the regime on its nuclear and missile development.
North Korea and the United States has very different idea on how to enter the dialogue first place. So Chinese government has been trying to mediate both of them. I think the Chinese government probably will reaffirm to North Korea that Chinese government prefers the dialogue over any other measures to denuclearize North Korea.
The experts added that China might have wanted to show the world that it's still proactively taking part in the North Korea issue after it seemed for a few months that China couldn't or was not willing to exert influence on North Korea.
Song would be the first ministerial-level Chinese official to visit North Korea since October 2015, when Politburo Standing Committee member Liu Yunchen met with leader Kim Jong-un. Xinhua made no mention of Trump's visit or the North's defense programs, although Trump has repeatedly called on Beijing to do more to use its influence to pressure Pyongyang into altering its behavior.
As long as we stand together with others, if necessary, against those who threaten our civilization, that threat will never happen. It doesn't even have a chance. As I said in my address yesterday in Seoul, the entire civilized world must unite to confront the North Korean menace. And the entire world is watching us right now. Today, President Xi, we discussed our mutual commitment to the complete denuclearization of North Korea. We agreed not to replicate failed approaches of the past, and there were many, we agreed on the need to fully implement all UN Security Council resolutions on North Korea and to increase economic pressure until North Korea abandons its reckless and dangerous path. All responsible nations must join together to stop arming and financing and even trading with the murderous North Korean regime. Together we have in our power to finally liberate this region and the world from this very serious nuclear menace. But it will require collective action, collective strength, and collective devotion to winning the peace. In order to create a more secure future for all and to protect our citizens from extremism and terrorism, President Xi and I also committed to working toward a peaceful future for Afghanistan. Terrorists are a threat to all of humanity, and we will stop radical Islamic terrorism. The United States and China also face many challenges within our borders. Every year, drug trafficking destroys millions and millions of lives. Today, President Xi and I discussed ways we can enhance coordination to better counter the deadly drug trade and to stop the lethal flow of poisonous drugs into our countries and into our communities. A special emphasis will be placed on the new phenomena, fentanyl, destroying lives by the millions. We're going to be focusing on it very strongly, the President and myself. In addition to improving the safety and security of our citizens, President Xi and I discussed improving our economic relationship. We want a vibrant trade relationship with China. We also want a fair and reciprocal one. Today, I discussed with President Xi the chronic imbalance in our relationship as it pertains to trade and the concrete steps that we'll jointly take to solve the problem of the massive trade distortion. This includes addressing China's market access restrictions and technology transfer requirements, which prevent American companies from being able to fairly compete within China. The United States is committed to protecting the intellectual property of our companies and providing a level playing field for our workers. At the same time, our relationship with you and China is a very important one to me and to all of the people of our country. And just by looking at the tremendous, incredible job-producing agreements just signed by those major companies, we're off to a very, very good start. As part of our commitment to regional stability and peace, the United States also continues to advocate for reforms that advance economic freedom, individual rights, and the rule of law. The United States, working with China and other regional partners, has an incredible opportunity to advance the cause of peace, security, and prosperity all across the world. It's a very special time, and we do indeed have that very, very special opportunity. A great responsibility has been placed on our shoulders, President. It's truly a great responsibility. And I hope we can rise to the occasion and help our countries and our citizens reach their highest destinies and their fullest potentials. I want to thank you. Again, you're a very special man for your gracious hospitality. I send my warmest regards to your citizens. I honor their heritage and celebrate their great, great possibilities and potential for the future. In the coming months and years, I look forward to building an even stronger relationship between our two countries, China and the United States of America, and even closer friendships and relationships between the people of our countries. Mr. President, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Honorable President. This concludes this event.